Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for the double, triple sized issue of Amazing Spider-Man. It's like Inhumans are in here, like everything's in here. So it's a lot of Amazing Spider-Man. Pete's back. I'm totally excited, and I love Peter Parker. Spider-Man is one of my favorite characters of all time, so I was very excited to see Spider-Man back, and I was very excited for this issue. But before I start talking about Amazing Spider-Man, I do want to give you guys a little update. Of course, I have Comic Uno episode 46, and that's the show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show, and here are those exclusive comics. We got Furious issue 4. And Disney Kingdom Seekers of the Weird issue 4. So if you want to go check out all those reviews, go to Comic Uno episode 46. And guys, we also have a 750 subscribers special on Comic Frontline where you guys can recommend a comic book for us to review. So be sure to check out that video, learn more information about it, and that'll be annotated. But let's talk about... It's so heavy, the Amazing Spider-Man issue 1. Yeah, I read Inhumans, so I'm like, oh, thank God there was a bonus book in here of a book I've already read. Why can't you give a book that I haven't read? But it's understandable, they want to promote these books, so put in all the Spider-Man stuff. We had Black Widow Inhumans, what's next? Elektra, you know, I bought that too. But yeah, love the cover. Personally, I really like Ramos's art. It's so weird to have him have a plural thing, but Ramos's art. But yeah, I really like his art. He's actually my favorite artist in the you know, all the people that are drawing Amazing Spider-Man right now, which I think it's Capelli and just Ramos, because I don't think Stegman's drawing it anymore. So I like his style. I'm used to his style. I don't really like Capelli's as much, so I like Ramos a little bit better. So I'm glad that he's back for this first arc. So let's talk about the main story, our main story of Spider-Man. It's really Spider-Man just getting back in the groove, you know, learning exactly what Dr. Octopus did to his life. He has a company he didn't know about, but it's also, you know, just Peter's luck. You know, he loses his clothes in a battle, which I thought was a little cheesy, and everyone's laughing. I love, one of my favorite pages is how his friends react to it, and Mary Jane's like, idiot, and then Johnny's just laughing hysterically. So that was like the part I'm like, yeah, Peter's back. Avengers just like, yeah, that's Peter. So I really like that moment. So even though some of the ridiculousness of it made some good laughs with his friends. So it's great to see his supporting characters again. But yeah, it's him getting used to his life again. But the big cliffhanger is that Anna Marie's, hey, I know you're Spider-Man. What are we going to do about this? And she also saw her engagement ring in Peter's drawer. So will Peter fall in love with Anna Marie, or will he just let her down and say, hey, I'm not Dr. Octopus, he took over my body? I have a feeling, I don't think they're going to end up together, I just don't see it, but I do feel that they will be friends in some way. I don't know, it looks very complicated to me, but I think the Anna Marie cliffhanger, we all saw her coming, but not her knowing about Spider-Man, but she is smart, so we kind of saw that coming. But yeah, so I thought that was a really interesting cliffhanger. So yeah, let's just talk about the regular story and then we'll get to the other stories. I thought it was solid. I thought it was really new reader friendly, but since I'm not a new reader, it just kind of, you know, this is something we could have had with the last issue more. It's really setting up who Peter is, and that's it, you know. But I was glad to see Mary Jane here. Again, I had some good laughs, but it's a solid issue, nothing more than that. It was just really happy to see Peter back, but I'm super excited for future storylines that set up in future of the other issues that are shown here, and set up with the covers that we've already seen with Spider-Verse, you know, Silk. I'm really excited for those stories, and this is just a setup story, and we see that there. So let's look into the other stories. We get to see the next one's about Electro, and that's really, he's gonna be in the next issue, but honestly, that's just for the movie. It's Electro that he, you know, used to be a good villain, but now he's a laughingstock, and he can't control his powers. So we're gonna see that more with the second issue. They already advertised that, but that is so for the movie. Electro's the main character. They need to have Electro in the book. But a really fun one is with Black Cat. Black Cat has been put to jail, and she hates Spider-Man for it. She's like, we had this thing and he ruined it, and now I'm just gonna play with him and then kill him. So it's gonna be fun to see if Black Cat even believes Peter that he was taken over by Dr. Octopus, and if she's even gonna care. So I'm not a humongous Black Cat fan. I know some people really are, but I'm excited for it. You know, I do like Hardy. I think she's an interesting character. I don't really like her as a love interest, but I'm looking forward to that arc. So I thought that was a really good one. You know, the next story is about how Spider-Man's powers work. You can probably skim that one. It's a cool cartoon, but you can probably skim it if, you know, Spider-Man. This is more for new readers, this story. And then the next story is for Spider-Man 2099, and just him getting used to the city and how it's different from his own. And I did like how Peter David wrote him. You know, he did create Spider-Man 2099. Didn't really tempt me to say, hey, I need to buy Spider-Man 2099. No, I'm still on the fence to see if I'm going to buy it. But as a Spider-Man fan, I feel like I should give the first issue a try, so I don't know what's going to happen. But I did really like the art, and again, it didn't really shock me. Or, you know, what is his usual thing? He's like, oh, shocker, or whatever it is. Shocking, no. Yeah, so it didn't shock me, but it was okay. I thought it was a good advertisement, though. Next story is advertisement for Kaine and his book New Warriors. And if you read Scarlet Spider, it's kind of old news, but the art is really cool. So again, it's kind of rehashing what's going on with Scarlet Spider. The next story I really enjoyed, which is a promotion to the new Spider-Man 0.1, or, you know, the new miniseries Dan Slott's writing. Love the art for the series, and it's a different point of view of Spider-Man's origins, of this guy, you know, getting the first footage of Spider-Man, seeing Spider-Man for the first time, and seeing how cocky Spider-Man is, and then he wants to become his own Spider-Man. So I thought that was a really cool promotion. Looking forward to Spider-Man learning how to crawl. Really looking forward to that miniseries. And that's all the stories. And then we have Inhumans, and that's the next half of the issue. I thought this was a solid issue. I gave this 4 stars. I really did enjoy it. I thought the mini stories did a really good job at advertising new Spider-Man stories. Did I think we should have a Spider-Verse thing? Yeah, I wish we had like a little glimpse of Spider-Verse, but I understand we have to wait until November, which can't wait until November for that. Maybe a Silk story would have been cool to see, you know, maybe replaced with that. So there could have been other stories I felt they could have told, but they were trying to advertise their new books, like New Warriors, you know, I understand that. But again, maybe we could have seen a Silk story that I would really like to see what that new character's about. But yeah, you know, Electro's understandable. Really like the Black Cat story. I think that had to be one of my favorites from, you know, secondary stories, and the last one with, you know, the boy who first saw Spider-Man. And you know, the first story, our main story, was solid. I liked it for a new reader format, and I think this is a very good new reader story. Definitely worth, what, $5.99, it's worth it. I thought it was a very solid start. It makes me excited to just have Peter back. I think with Superior, I always, like, left the issue for me, like, 3rd or something, you know? Like, I'm excited for Superior, but, like, not as excited as I always was with Amazing Spider-Man, because Amazing Spider-Man was always that first issue I had on my list, because I was always super excited. So now I'm super excited for Peter Parker's stories, and see where his stories go. And it seems like we're getting some new, fresh things, even after Superior Spider-Man. So I'm going to give this 4 stars. I thought it was very solid. But, you know, for old reader, I've been reading Spider-Man for years. It's nothing new for the first story. Very new reader friendly, though, if you haven't been reading Spider-Man at all and you want a good jumping off point. This is actually a great jumping off point. But hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Unknown. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Unknown and the Rant Situations. And don't forget to like my Facebook page. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.